Cowboys ball at their own 49.
This is not this looks like it's going to be a pass because they've been in the huddle so long, or they changed the play. This is too long for a quarterback sneak. And I'll bet you the length of time they were in the huddle, this is a pass play.
Bjornson's in the lineup. Johnson goes in motion. Pass coming. Caught by Michael Irvin at the Cardinal 30-yard line.
Yeah, they got him in that third and short, and instead of going for the run, they went for the pass. Here's Michael Irvin here. He's going to come up and run that slant in here, and there's no one that throws that pass better than Troy Aikman. Watch it, that timing pass. He just comes up. When he plants right there, that left foot, the ball is in the air. Then he takes 2 more steps, and it's right there. Aeneas Williams, like we said, one of the best corners in football, is going to be on Michael Irvin all day today.
But there's not much way you can stop a throw and a catch like that. Here's Aikman back to throw it again. Irvin steps out of bounds, and it's another catch for Michael.
And this is what the Cowboys didn't do on Thanksgiving Day, is get the ball to Michael Irvin. He only caught 1 pass for 5 yards, and I think what they did is they started running Emmitt Smith and get those Cardinals to think they have to stop the run. Then they loosen up, you see, and then they're all tightened up there for the run, and then they loosen up for the pass in doing that. And Michael Irvin has been wide open on those last 2 plays.
Ty.J. Armstrong back at tight end, lined up to the left side, so this should be a run, I guess. Emmitt Smith down to the 10. Matt Darby on the bottom of the pile for the Cardinals.
And Emmitt Smith, you know, again, maybe that ankle's only 90%, but Emmitt Smith looks like he's back. Only 1 back in the backfield, so he has no lead, but he's going to get man here, and he's just going to get right in behind and then kind of bounce out at the end. You see that? This is what it looks like from Emmitt Smith. Man. Then he just finds the hole, and he makes a cut and a great move on Eric Hill.
And a fine block by Ty.J. 2 tight ends. Here's Emmitt again. The crease wasn't there. Very close to a first down, not quite.
You know, that's one heck of a battle, though, because if you take, you know, players are the best players. Eric Swan is one of the best defensive linemen in football, and he's going against Larry Allen, who's one of the best offensive linemen in football. So you get this thing happening right here, and here, where you get 2 of the best at their position going against each other. And that's a pretty good battle there. Larry Allen got into him, got him going back a little, but Eric Swan got off him, and there was no cutback there to Eric Swan from Emmitt Smith.
3rd and 1. They spread him out. Aikman fumbled the snap from the center. The Cardinals saying we've got the ball, and they do.
I don't know that Troy Aikman didn't pull out a little quickly on that one, Pat, because there was a blitz coming.
Yeah.
You see that? There was a blitz coming right up the middle.
Eric Swan comes up with the ball.
Watch this. You're going to see the blitz, and as this thing steps up, I don't know that Troy Aikman doesn't pull out. You see, I think he did. He moved back a little bit. See, you saw Eric Hill start to hit that thing, and he started to move out before the ball got up there. You know, usually when you have a center like Ray Donaldson, 17 years in the league, Troy Aikman, 8 years in the league, those kinds of things don't happen.
And you don't know whose fault it is, whether Aikman pulled out too soon or whether Donaldson was late with the ball.
Or if Eric Hill's blitz affected him, because
I'm sure that
he was a guy that was moving and could move because he was a linebacker.
Here's Boomer. And the pass is caught by Moore.
Well, they finally figured out where Alundis Price was. Yeah, I really felt in that first quarter that they didn't know where he was, and if they did know where he was, they didn't have it in the game plan, but they figured out Alundis Price in there, very susceptible to any kind of pass, playing for Deion Sanders. That's the area they ought to work all day.
It was one heck of a throw by Boomer Esiason.
Boomer Esiason's still very capable of throwing great passes like that.
1st and 10 at the Dallas 40. Boomer will throw it again. No, he won't. Fumble. And the Cowboys get it back. Casillas and Godfrey, and let's see who's on the bottom. Brent
You're going to see Boomer back there with the ball. Now, again, if his hand isn't going forward, it's a fumble. You see, it's not going forward. He just got hit from that backside by Tony Tolbert. You see, it's right there. He hits him just as a ball. In fact, it was Chad Hennings who hit him.
At Sun Devil Stadium, second quarter. Cowboys just recovered the fumble. Broderick Thomas made the recovery. Aikman back to throw on first down. Waited and waited and waited and finally threw it in the direction of Emmitt Smith, who's saying he was held.
Let's watch that fumble again on the clicker. We'll see as we start here. Here's Chad Hennings right here, and he's working on Redmond. He's going to make the hit. Broderick Thomas is right here. He's going to make the fumble recovery. Chad Hennings goes right around. See with the power move right there? Then he comes and he hits Boomer. See, the ball is not going forward. The ball is not going forward, and then Broderick Thomas was right there to get the fumble recovery.
Second and 10. There's Emmitt hitting the backfield. Simeon Rice. Amazing quickness.
Yeah, he's gonna be the next top defensive lineman in football because he can do all these things and move. I mean, you're gonna see him here. You see him take on 2-A and then just go to the inside and take that gap. You see the Cardinals play what they call a 2-gap. So you have to control the gap to your outside and the gap to your inside. And that was Simeon Rice's gap, and he controlled it perfectly.
Third and 11. 3 wide receivers for the Cowboys, and Aikman back to throw it. Michael Irvin to the 35-yard line of Arizona. Stopped by Aeneas Williams, but a first down Cowboys.
This is the type of thing we're talking about. Simeon Rice, watch him. This is a move. I mean, you talk about the strength. He just took Nate Newton. He was going on a stunt, took Nate Newton, threw him out of the way, just knocked Troy Aikman on his back. And how Troy Aikman made this perfect throw to Michael Irvin. You wonder how that ball even got there.
He never saw it. Aikman didn't. 21-yard pickup and a first down Cowboy.
But that Simeon Rice is raising some havoc down there today.
Here's Emmitt Smith. Trying to bounce to the outside, gets a yard or so, but that's about it. Simeon Rice in on the tackle.
You know, and he didn't even have a full training camp. He was a #1 draft choice, and he held out most of training camp. When we talked to him last time, he thought when he came here he was going to be a linebacker. And then they put him at defensive end, and he's just one of those guys who is a football player. I mean, I really believe that you could take Simeon Rice and he could be a linebacker like Lawrence Taylor, or he can be a defensive lineman like a Richard Dent or a Charles Haley. He's that type of talent.
Here's Herschel Walker in motion to the left. And Aikman back to throw. Here comes the blitz.
Oh, look out.
A flag down on the play.
The referee has to have better control of that. He has to blow the whistle. He can't let him have a free hit in the quarterback.
Full start prior to the snap. Offense number 88. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Yeah, but then blow your whistle,
yep.
Referee. I mean that's bad. That's not just because a guy moves on offense doesn't ever give the defense a free shot at an unprotected quarterback.
They were coming on the blitz, and the shot wasn't as vicious as it could have been. But watch it.
Yeah, but what happens is once they move, he has to blow the whistle, and the defense has to stop. You see, I mean, he can't stop, and then you can't hit him after he stops. You just can't do that.
Second and 13. Jameer Miller. Here's Aikman. Up into the pocket, whips it outside to Emmitt Smith. And he's taken down for a loss. Seth Joyner out there with him. The ex-Eagle who's played very, very well.
A good tackle by Seth Joyner, but it was good coverage downfield because you can bet that Troy Aikman didn't want to have to throw the ball to Emmitt Smith. And on that play, he had to throw the ball to Emmitt Smith.
Third and 15. And this is a good chance to look at who his go-to guy is going to be.
Well, if history repeats itself, it's Kelvin Martin.
It has been. Today he's had success to Michael Irvin.
I bet he looks for Kelvin Martin.
Martin's in the slot. Irvin. Incomplete as they wrestle Russell, Irvin, and Aeneas Williams.
Good coverage by Aeneas Williams.
Excellent.
You see, he's right there, and they're going up and battling for the ball. There's 4 hands, and the ball all got there at the same time. I tell you, and those are 4 strong hands that go up there. I mean, Aeneas Williams, when he got his hands on that thing, he just ripped it right down out of there.
Anthony Edwards back deep for John Jett's punt. 8:19 left before halftime. The Cardinals leading 3-0. High kick. And caught downfield by Charlie Williams. Knocked downfield, and the Cowboys down it at about the 5-yard line, where the Cardinals will take over. They lead 3-0.
The bright sun and the lights have been on all day. Why would you do that?
I can't answer that. That's Leland McElroy. And right now, for McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center.
All right, Pat, take a look at Dexter Carter taking the punt, heading upfield, get hit hard, loses the ball, recovered by the Panthers. That leads to a field goal, 10-0. Carolina over San Francisco. Hey, Pat, tell John I know the lights and sun means it's hot.
Yes, it does.
That's pretty good. Lights and sun equal heat. But you don't need it. You already got the heat. You got the sun. You don't need the lights.
Childress is playing tackle now for the Cowboys in place of Henning. Pass complete to Rob Moore.
Well, Boomer Esiason started out 5 for 5, and then he's been 1 for 7. This makes them 2 for 8 here. But again, they found Alundis Bryce, and that's what they're going to work on. I mean, that's the place to go. That's the old deal. When the cat's not there, the mice are going to play. The cat is Deion Sanders. He's on the sideline, and the mice are the Cardinal receivers working at this left side.
That's Ray Childress, you just saw, playing left tackle alongside Casillas. And the Cowboy defense, 5-time All-Pro. Here's the pitch back to Leland McElroy. McElroy stays on his feet. First down, Arizona, knocked out of bounds finally by Fred Strickland.
Here's the thing that they can do is you want to pack everything here and then get it to the outside. And that's exactly what they do here. You see, they get a little motion. They hook Tony Tolbert there. Then they outrun the outside, you see. And then they get a good block on the corner out there on Kevin Smith.
1st and 10, Arizona at their own 31. Straight ahead, another Cardinal first down. They've spotted Childress like they spotted Alundis Bryce.
Yeah, I think that time they got Tony Casillas, because they run right at Tony Casillas. He's on the other side. Here's Childress here. Casillas is on the other side, and they just got Childress going back, and they got Casillas going back, and there was a hole in there. Here are the 2 tackles. You see what they do to Casillas? They get him going sideways, and they run off of his double team and single Ray Childress. So they're finding a few things there that are there in that Cowboy defense that haven't been there before.
And Chad Hennings is back. And here's Boomer. Pass complete. Frank Sanders makes the reception, and they'll move those sticks again.
Yeah, you take Charles Haley out of that defense, then you take Leon Lett out of that defense, then you take Deion Sanders out of that defense, and offense can find some things against this group.
Yep. A lot of talent missing, a lot of dollars missing.
But one thing Boomer Esiason said is his wide receivers have to have a big day, and you wondered how they were going to do it, but you can see it now.
This is McElroy. Godfrey and Casillas bring him down.
Vince Tobin was talking about maintaining the intensity in the second half. He said last time, we had good intensity in the first quarter. We had good intensity in the second quarter. Then we started to wear down in the third quarter, and we're beaten in the fourth quarter. He said, I think we're going to have that same intensity that we had in the first half against the Cowboys the whole game today. But they can wear this Cowboy team down, too.
2nd and 10. They're used to the heat. 3 wide receivers. Blitz coming. The Cardinals pick it up pretty well. Pass is picked off by George Teague. Still trying to get up. Nobody's hit him yet. And Teague's still going. Now they're saying he's down because of contact. I didn't see it.
Boomer Esiason's receiver must have stopped because there was no receiver there. He threw it right to George Teague. There's a fight down there on over there in the sideline. Watch Boomer Esiason throw the ball. There's no receiver there. The only guy there was George Teague. Bounced into his hands, bounced out, and he got it. Broderick Thomas is still down. There's another guy down on the 30-yard line where a fight had broken out. There's stuff going on all over this field.
Can't keep track of all of it. That's Broderick Thomas. There's another injured Cowboy on the other side of the field.
Yeah, down around the 30-yard line, and behind him was where a fight broke out. That's Alundis Bryce is the other injured Cowboy. Here we're going to watch. Here's Broderick Thomas. He's the first injury right here. And he's the guy that gives the initial pressure to Boomer Esiason, who throws the ball to an area where there's no receiver.
Wendy's was hurt on an interception run back by George Teague. The Cowboys ball at their own 28.
And that interception, Larry Centers went after Alundis Bryce and really put a hit on him.
Incomplete, almost intercepted. Right now, let's return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center.
All right, Pat, Steve Young on track here. Take a look, play action. No pressure on Young, but he decides to pass it to Brent Jones. Touchdown. First touchdown given up by Carolina in 35 possessions. Carolina still on top by 3. Back to Pat and John.
2nd and 10. Arizona leading Dallas 3-0. Sherman Williams is the deep back in place of Emmitt Smith. Aikman back to throw. Michael Irvin. Kevin Williams, I beg your pardon. Kevin Williams.
Aikman's pass is complete to number 85, Kevin Williams.
Not enough for a first down. Our Aflac trivia question this week. How did Mean Joe Green get his nickname? He is on the Cardinal coaching staff. And there he is.
There's old Mean Joe Green. We played against him, and I was with the Oakland Raiders. And he was one of the truly great defensive linemen of all time.
You know how he got his name?
Yeah. I know how he got his name, but I'll tell you, he was tough, and he used to line up in that gap sideways against us. And he was darn near impossible at times.
Sherman Williams, and he doesn't get anything. In fact, he lost a yard.
Sherman Williams is not a short yardage runner, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to spell him with Emmitt Smith, or spell Emmitt Smith with him, and that's okay. But I think when you get to short yardage, I think you need Emmitt Smith in there. Now maybe there's nothing that Emmitt Smith's going to do, because when you get penetration like that, I don't know that any runner would have a chance. Because you see, the thing on short yardage you have to do in defense is you have to get penetration, and that's exactly where the Cardinals beat them.
John Jett back to punt to Anthony Edwards. Jett's kick is a good one. Edwards is going to take a chance with this one. Jim Swans down to make the tackle. He has become very, very valuable on special teams and in 3rd and long in the nickel defense. The Arizona Cardinals 3, Dallas nothing. Pat Summerall, John Madden. That's not us. We're the talkers.
Deion Sanders is still coaching. He's coaching Kevin Smith now.
He's not coaching from the upright position, though. Oh, me. And there's Alundis Bryce walking back to the locker room.
Wendell Davis is now playing that right corner.
And he's the last of their cornerbacks. Larry Centers, the ball carrier, gets good yardage straight ahead. There's Wendell Davis.
Yeah, and that's what the Cardinals have to think about, and I'm sure they're going to talk about at halftime, is they're going to have to change and reevaluate that whole offensive game plan and make a new one up for the second half.
Deion Sanders headed for the locker room also, and obvious pain.
Now, I don't think there's anything they're going to be able to do between now and the second half to get him in any form to play. And then his backup, Alundis Bryce, just injured his knee, so they're down to their last corner in Wendell Davis. And if there's any position you don't want to run out of in football, it's quarterback and cornerback.
Larry centers the ball carrier, gets enough, I believe, for an Arizona first down. Wendell Davis is a rookie from Oklahoma. He was the Cowboys' 6th-round draft choice in last year's draft. There's Deion Sanders, and that looks like real pain.
Now they've taken both of their right corners into the locker room.
To play in the first half, Pat Summerall with John Madden. The Cardinals have the ball at their own 25. 1st and 10. Very similar to the first match between these two teams back at Texas Stadium. Score was 3-0 at the half of that one. Cowboys. Esiason is high. Frank Sanders, the intended receiver.
If that hadn't have been high, that would have been a big play.
Again, the Aflac trivia question. Remember this? How did Mean Joe Green get his nickname? John Madden said he knew. There's Joe Green. He attended North Texas State, where they were known as the Mean Green.
Yeah, that was the nickname of the team. So he was Joe Green from the Mean Green. So then he became Mean Joe Green from the Mean Green. Then he started playing. Joe Green wasn't really mean or dirty. He was just he was aggressive, and he was just a great player. He was tough. It wasn't a mean thing. He was a good man and a tough guy.
A very intimidating presence. Centers. Schwartz misses. Wendell Davis cut him down.
I was asking him yesterday. I said, when you played, why didn't they do all that tackle rotating the way they do now? They never took out Mean Joe Green or Ernie Holmes. They always left in there. So why didn't they take you out and give you a rest once in a while the way they do today's players?
Well, nobody had courage enough to say I'm taking you out.
I know, and I would have loved to have seen him go out. We would have done a little damage in there if we could have gotten him out of there.
Don't forget to stick with us at the half for the Dockers Khakis halftime with JB and Terry and all the scores and highlights from around the
league. And they go down to Tampa, and whoa. And I know that, that one up in San Francisco, Carolina and San Francisco, the 49ers been worrying about this one for a long time because they've lost 2 out of 3 to Carolina at Carolina's place and at their place. So they knew that they could lose to Carolina.
That is a good team. 4 wide receivers. Cowboys have 4 men to rush. By Steve Anderson. This time he hangs on. Kevin Smith.
They're still working over there on Kevin Smith. I think that they're going to find out and make some adjustments, and I'll bet you they come out in the second half and throw a lot more to their left side.
You think because Boomer's left-handed, it's more difficult to throw this way?
No, it's easier to throw to his left side.
This one he just throws on the ground, trying to set up a screen pass. There's a flag on the play.
Yeah, for a quarterback, a right-handed quarterback, it's more natural and easier to throw to your right. Left-handed quarterback, it's more natural and easier to throw to his left.
54 seconds left. Walt Coleman is the referee. Both teams have 2 timeouts left.
Jim Fossil's the offensive coordinator of the Cardinals, and they did have success going deep to Rob Moore up this left sideline.
Number 81, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
5 yards against Frank Sanders. Boomer's having trouble hearing from the Cardinal sideline. He's looking back into the sun.
Well, he has a receiver in his helmet, and then what happens if he doesn't get the receiver, if that doesn't come through, then he has to look over to the sideline for a hand signal, which is the backup system.
And that's difficult for him to see. He's out of the spread formation this time. Cowboys again creep up into blitzing situation. Little game in the middle, and Boomer goes deep. Rob Moore defended well by Wendell Davis.
And that was a play that I was talking about that they got earlier. Throw it over there to Rob Moore. Just getting him out here. Here's where you have the rookie that you're working on, and just go deep up there. That's exactly what they did. But Wendell Davis does a good job.
Yes, he does.
He doesn't get any bump at all. He lets him have the position, and then he just runs with him. Look, he gets his hands up there right at the end. He looks up, he puts his hands up, you look up, and you put your hands up. But I'll tell you, that was a good call. That was the right idea by the Cardinals. That was the place to go. That is a very high percentage play for big success.
2nd and 15. They might go there again. There's Boomer. Sidearms it to Anthony Edwards, the backup tight end, who is a fine receiver.
Now again, with the Cardinals have 2 timeouts left, so what they have to think here is they need about 10 more yards to get into field goal position, maybe 15 more yards.
3rd and 3. They have 2 timeouts left. Here's Boomer again. Gets the ball.
And he has his first down. Now he can take a timeout.
Frank Sanders was the Cardinal who made the reception.
And I watched the official, Pat, where he spotted the ball was enough for a first down for the Cardinals.
And now they have 1 timeout left. This is the Cardinal timeout coming up. Don't forget the Dockers Khakis halftime report and highlights from around the league.
Now, there'll be some good highlights.
Yes,
and,
sir.
Maybe the end of this half will be a good highlight because, see, now Kevin Butler, if they had to kick a field goal right now, that would be a 52-yard field goal.
So max for him.
Yeah, that is max. I mean, I think that's on the long side. So I would say that they still need, I mean, if I were thinking for the Cardinals, I would think the first thing you want to do is get about 10 more yards. Then you can be comfortable with the field goal. Then after you get that 10 yards, then take your shot at the end zone. And if you don't get the touchdown, then kick the field goal. Because they're going to be able to run at least 2 more plays before they have to kick a field goal.
1st and 10. They have 1 timeout left. 17 seconds left. Cowboys come again. Blitz. Pass caught by Moore. First down. He was knocked out of bounds by the defender. That's a fine catch. He got pushed out of bounds while he was in the air.
And you're going to see him right here. Now the ball is up. He gets knocked out of bounds while he's in the air, and that's what they rule. Now if both feet were to come down or 1 foot out of bounds, it would be out of bounds. But if he's in the air and gets knocked out, then that's a legal reception.
1st and 10 at the 11. They can make a first down without scoring, but they don't have enough time. 10 seconds left.
They have to take a shot at the end zone. Boomer Esiason has to throw this ball into the end zone.
Throws high. Rob Moore, the intended receiver. Davis back there with him. And here comes the field goal team.
Well, they found Wendell Davis at the end of this half. I mean, they knew, first of all, they knew Deion Sanders wasn't playing. And then they found Alundis Bryce out there. Alundis Bryce injured his knee. They're going with the rookie Wendell Davis. And on that drive, that was the area that they tried to get their big plays.
I think the Dallas Cowboys should consider themselves to be very fortunate if they go to the locker room behind only 6-0 with all the injuries they've had
and all the other problems they had.
But
they know the fight here.
Kevin Butler's field goal is good, and the Cardinals will take a 6-0 lead to the locker room at the half. The Cowboys lose Leon Lett during the week, the long 10-day period. Now they lose Deion Sanders in the warm-up. Alundis Bryce gets hurt. Don't forget next Saturday, The Eagles and the Jets, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
I mean, you know, it's like one time it was the strongest division in all of football, and now it's like none of the top teams want to win. I mean, the Eagles, they looked terrible the other day against Indianapolis, or Indianapolis looked great against them. The Redskins go down and they get blown out by Tampa, and then the Cowboys, the way they're playing here, they're just not ready to play. I mean, the Cowboys, you know, they won the Super Bowl a year ago. They're defending champions, and I feel you're champions until you get beaten, but they don't look like champions to me, or act like champions.
And look at the Cardinals. They would even their record at 7-7 if they beat the Cowboys today, and they'd be in the thick of the race, only a game behind.
Well, I think under Vince Tobin, you know, in his job, that this is their Super Bowl right now.
Ball gets away from Herschel Walker, who just dives on it, and that should finish the first half.
I don't think so. I think there's 1 second left. They still have to have a play, because when he gets that ball, it's change of possession, and it's an automatic timeout.
Well, they started for the locker room.
Yeah, I know they all did.
And now they can. You're absolutely right. They're coming back.
Yeah, they have to have another play. I don't know that they all know the rules, but once he touches that ball, the clock stops. Yep, I think they're letting them go.
Yeah, they are.
They just run that off and said, okay.
So that's the end of the first half with this score. The Arizona Cardinals 6, the Dallas Cowboys 0. James Brown and Terry Bradshaw will be along with the Dockers Khakis halftime report following these messages.